Good evening. The April the 21st Planning and Zoning Commission meeting is now called to order. Tonight's meeting is being conducted via teleconference to abide by county, state, and federal recommendations to limit in-person gatherings to help slow the spread of the coronavirus. We thank you for your understanding. Due to the format of this meeting, we will begin tonight with a roll call to confirm all members of the commission are present and able to participate in our consideration. Commissioners, when I call your name, will you please respond in the affirmative if you are present? Jack Jenkins? Jack Jenkins,
here.
are you present? Bonnie
Yes,
Rice?
here. Here.
Nancy Murray?
Here.
Tracy Vincent?
Present.
Pat Noon?
Present.
Tim Carpenter?
I'm here.
Brent Stevenson?
Here.
Cody Sage?
Here.
And I am Frankie Parson, the chairperson. Also, we will do a roll call of city staff. City planner Angela Choi.
Here.
Director of Development Services, Michael Shirley.
Present.
Thank you. Everybody is in attendance. Item 3 is the approval of the minutes from our last meeting in February. Has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes? And if so, are there any corrections at this time? If not, we will entertain a motion.
Motion for approval. Ronnie Rice.
Bonnie Rice has made the motion. Is there a second?
Second, Brent Stevenson.
We have a motion, a first and a second, and we will now conduct a roll call vote. I will ask each commissioner in turn for their vote, and when asked, please indicate by saying yes or no. Jack Jenkins?
Yes.
Bonnie Rice?
Yes.
Nancy Murray?
Yes.
Tracy Vincent?
Yes.
Pat Noon?
Yes.
M. Carpenter?
Yes.
Brent Stevenson?
Yes.
Cody Sage?
Yes.
Frankie Parson, yes, and staff will now confirm the record of the vote.
Thank you. Ronnie Rice made the motion to approve. Brent Stevenson seconded. The vote was unanimous, 9-0.
Thank you. We now have reached the citizen comment portion of our meeting, and those wishing to participate in citizen comment tonight were invited to access this meeting through a link to register with the teleconferencing application. This portion of citizen comment are comments made other than the public hearing items that we have on the agenda tonight. If you wish to speak on an item on the agenda, please wait until that time to speak. Sean Hara, the city's media and tourism manager, is coordinating the technical side of the meeting and will assist with moderating the citizen comment portion of our meeting. When you are called as a citizen to speak, you will be unmuted and given one opportunity to speak. Please begin by stating your name and address for the public record. If you're also watching a live stream of this meeting through CityView Municipal Television, please mute it to avoid feedback. Sean, do we have any residents who want to speak tonight?
We have 5 individuals that are here watching the meeting. We don't show that any have raised their hand at this time to be able to speak. So we do have one question that has come in, but it was just sent in as a question. I'll just go ahead and read it so I can let that be known. It's a question from Victor Russell asking, is there a land bank program for District 3 or throughout Longview? I do not see that anyone else has raised their hand to be able to speak. If they want to, they would need to do that now. They can also send in a chat. Not seeing any, I think you can continue.
Moving to the consent agenda, we are now on the consent agenda, and the items on the consent agenda are plats that meet the requirements of the City of Longview subdivision ordinance. These items will be approved with one vote unless any member of the Planning and Zoning Commission, any member of the public, or the applicant would like an item removed from consent and placed on the regular agenda for discussion. Would anyone like for an item removed from the consent agenda and placed on the regular agenda for discussion at this time? Hearing none, I will now entertain a motion, and when making a motion, please state your name for the staff.
Pat Noon, make a motion to approve.
Tracy
We
Vincent,
have a
second.
motion. Who was it?
Tracy Vincent, second.
Tracy Denson, second. There is a first and a second. We will now conduct a roll call vote. I will ask each commissioner to say yes or no. Jack Jenkins,
Jack Jenkins, aye.
Bonnie Rice,
Yes.
Nancy Murray,
Yes.
Tracy Vincent,
Yes.
Pat Noon,
Yes.
Tim Carpenter,
Yes.
Brent Stevenson,
Yes.
Cody Sage,
Yes.
and I'm Frankie Parson, and I vote yes. Staff will now confirm the record of the vote.
Pat Noon made the motion. Tracy Vincent seconded the motion. The vote was unanimous, 9-0.
Thank you, thank you, Angela, thank you. Now onto the regular agenda. The purpose of this meeting is to hear all pertinent testimony of those in support of and in opposition to the applications before the board. Tonight is the first of 2 public hearings required to approve a change in zoning. The board also considers plats. The procedure for public hearing items to be followed tonight will be: the public hearing will be opened and testimony will be heard in the following order. First from the staff, second from the applicant, and third from the general public, and that includes those in support and in opposition to the request. If you're a part of a large group with a common interest, we ask that you appoint a spokesperson rather than have each individual restate the same information. When addressing the board, please begin by stating your name and address and try to limit your comments to 5 minutes. When all sides have spoken, the public hearing on the matter will be closed and no further public discussion will be entertained. After each public hearing is closed, the board will vote on the request. Zoning requests and the Planning and Zoning Commission's recommendation will go forward to the second public hearing that will be conducted by the City Council in May. First is our regular agenda item, and Angela will introduce it.
Thank you. This is a public hearing will be held to consider application Z20-02 filed by Rick Sign Company and Kilgore College, appealing the sign regulations of Article 1, Section 10 of the South Main Neighborhood Zoning Ordinance to allow for a wall sign larger than 30 square feet located at 300 South High Street.
Will you go ahead and give the staff presentation as well?
Yes, ma'am. The applicant, Kilgore College, is requesting an appeal to the sign regulations of Article 1, Section 10 of the South Main Neighborhood Plan Development Ordinance to allow for a wall sign larger than 30 square feet. Kilgore College Longview Main Building is located in a plan development district known as South Main. The South Main neighborhood is a pre-World War II neighborhood located south of South Street, west of Green Street, east of High Street, and north of the railroad tracks. South Main was one of the first neighborhoods to grow beyond the city's original limits, also known as the 100 acres. The area was mainly built between 1900 and the 1940s. In 1986, the Planning and Zoning Commission authorized a study of the South Main area to determine the state of the neighborhood and to develop improvement alternatives for the area to ensure a viable neighborhood. This plan development was created to preserve the unique characteristics of the historical neighborhood by providing requirements and guidelines in addition to the ones set forth in the zoning ordinance. These additional requirements help to maintain the characteristics, I can't speak, sorry, of the neighborhood by allowing flexibility as well as more stringent requirements than the normal regulations. The South Main plan development determines the type of uses, setbacks, height, size, density, parking, architectural guidelines, and signage that is allowed within this neighborhood. Sign regulations in South Main plan development are limited to 1 sign per frontage of business, in addition to a nameplate. The maximum size of the signs, other than the nameplate, is determined by the ratio of 1 square foot in area per each linear foot of lot frontage, or 30 feet, whichever is less. In the case of Kilgore College Longview Building, this would be limited to 30 square feet of signage, and the proposed sign that the applicant is wishing to erect is approximately 70 square foot in size. The South Main Plan Development Ordinance states then when a permit is denied by the city planner, the applicant can appeal to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Therefore, the applicant is requesting a variance to the sign requirements set forth in the South Main Plan Development Ordinance. The intent of this ordinance is to maintain the historic unique characteristics of this neighborhood. However, this building and its sign faces upon a major thoroughfare within this plan development district. Within this district, the uses are more flexible along South Street because it is a commercial corridor. The building was built around 1960 and is approximately 60,000 square feet in size. Also, the building is approximately 150 feet from the property line on South Street. Based on these factors, a 30 square foot size sign would be hard to see and not very proportional to the building and the site. Staff does not feel that this request will impact any surrounding properties and recommends approval of this request. I would be happy to answer any questions at this time.
Are there any questions? Hearing none, is the applicant present, and do you have anything to add, or would you like to speak on the request? That is the applicant. Hearing none,
Mike is here.
Good evening. This is Mike Jenkins. I'm the Executive Vice President for Kilgore College. And as Mrs. Choi has so eloquently shared, we are in the process of trying to renovate not only the interior, but the exterior of our facilities in Longview to make them more appealing to the community as well as our students. And being able to place our new logo on the building, we feel would have benefits for the identification of what the facility is and our purpose for being in Longview.
all right. Anything further, Mr. Jenkins?
I'd be happy to answer any questions if there were any.
All right, does the commission have any questions for staff or the applicant on this item? No questions? Thank you. I will now open the public hearing. Are there any in support of this request? If so, please state your name and address for the staff. And it's your turn now to speak. Hearing none, is there any opposition to the request? If so, please state your name and address for the staff. Hearing none, are there any additional questions or comments from those in attendance? The public hearing is now closed. I will now entertain a motion.
Move for approval. Second, Jack Jenkins.
Who made the motion, please?
Tim Carpenter.
There's a first and a second. We will now conduct a roll call vote. Jack Jenkins,
I vote yes.
Ronnie Rice,
Yes.
Nancy Murray,
Yes.
Tracy Vincent,
Yes.
Pat Noon,
Yes.
Tim Carpenter,
Yes.
Cody Sage. Oops, I'm
Yes.
sorry, I missed Brent. Brent Stevenson,
Yes.
Frankie Parson, I vote yes. Staff will now confirm the record of the vote.
Tim Carpenter made the motion. Jack Jenkins seconded the motion to approve. The vote was unanimous, 9-0.
Excellent. Angela, would you like to speak to agenda item B?
Yes, ma'am. Agenda item B has been withdrawn by the applicant.
All right, moving on to agenda item 7. Agenda, please provide us with an update of the previous zoning item.
Yes, ma'am. The zoning item that was at the corner of H.G. Mosley and McCann Road was withdrawn by the applicant and was not presented to City Council. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Hearing none, thank you. Finally, in closing, please know that it is possible that our next few Planning and Zoning Commission meetings will need to be conducted via teleconference like this one. We will let you know more in detail about our May 19th meeting as soon as we have additional information. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you for your participation.